T-minus 1 minute.
I'm George Amini. I just finished my junior year here at Georgia Tech. I'm an aerospace engineering student, current co-president of GTXR.
My name's Nick Gaug. I'm a third-year aerospace engineering major, and I'm the structures team lead for GTXR.
My name is Kolej Looney. I just finished my second year at Georgia Tech, and I'm a Propulsion member. I'm kind of the guy in charge of igniters right now.
My name's Nick Mazzio. I am a fifth-year industrial engineering student, and I do most of my work on the simulations team.
Launch weekend is like a major undertaking by like every metric you have. It's a major financial undertaking, it's a major logistical undertaking, it's a major technical undertaking. Obviously we need to get the rocket like built and ready to go for launch, but in addition to that we need to get all of our equipment transported across country. We need to get all of our members transported from wherever they are to California, and then from where they land in LAX to actually the middle of nowhere in Mojave. So that's just very, very challenging and very, very expensive. Our team is really proud to bring out so many students to launch. We brought out over 50 people this year, which is very exciting to offer that opportunity to that many students, but it is really hard just to coordinate all the logistics and to make sure all of our equipment gets where it needs to be and gets there safely.
Oh, nice.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the GTXR Day 1 of rocket launch. Yeah. Cool transition. We're going to In-N-Out Burger.
We're In-N-Out Burger.
Going in and we're going out. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for like 5 hours for this burger.
5 hours? Do you not have food at all?
I had a Cliff Bar this morning. I don't know why.
Amazing. How do you feel, Michael?
I feel amazing.
Like they remind me of something that's like really unappetizing.
You know packing peanuts?
Yeah, it's like biting into, they taste like styrofoam.
And pimp speed on a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines, serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon, now it's 95.
What happened?
Car is broken. I have no idea what happened. We are in the middle of the desert, no water, no food. Our engine has broken down and we're stuck in the middle of nowhere. We don't know what to do.
Me and Tyler, my co-van driver, were just about to start playing Mario Kart, and suddenly he's like, "You see this message?" And I look at my phone, and it's, check engine light is on in the van. We're pulling over.
Then they can't. Yeah, it's fine.
So I couldn't go to the bathroom. What are you talking about? Not you. So who's down to walk? Alright guys, guess where we are? The middle of nowhere on the side of the road because our car engine overheated. So we're getting Dylan and Melvin to make some calls, hopefully get some repairs.
Mojave.
It was starting to get dark by the time that this happened, and they were only halfway to Mojave from LA. By the time that we started going to them, it was sunset, and when we arrived to them, they were no longer at a gas station, but, you know, at another side road in the middle of the desert, just, you know, pitch black, just chilling in their van.
So we'll wait for Nick.
Yep.
Y'all two drive it all the way to Mojave safely. Deal with Avion in the morning. Sound good?
We made it! Give us a hi.
We had 3 groups this year, 3 different teams essentially that we rotated through the site. This way we could have people always on site working on the rocket and making sure things were looking good and staying on track, but then also so that we could cycle people through to get sufficient amount of sleep, sufficient amount of rest, and sufficient amount of food. It is a really remote area, and it's really challenging to get resources out to the site, and even when you're not at the site, it's very challenging to just like get water and get food and that kind of thing. So we had 3 teams essentially cycle through to make sure we were always covered in our operations, but also so that everyone was staying safe and having all their needs met.
It is currently 6:39 and I'm about to head out on the white group, which is the first unlucky people that get to wake up really early and go out to the desert so that we can unload the van for launch.
Okay. Welcome back, guys. Today is day 2 of the Mojave rocket launch. We are currently heading down to farm on this dirt road, and we are just hoping that our car does not fall apart right now. So, wish us luck, we'll see you at farm. We're in the desert, guys. How was I literally in Augusta, Georgia yesterday?
Hello, Morgan! How's it going?
Good.
Yay! What have you guys been up to?
Yeah, so we put the entire rocket together. We got it on the rail, and now we're just checking the electronics on it.
Well, I actually ran the gold shift, which was the second shift to go out to Mojave. The purpose was to finish any assembly that the first team had done for the full vehicle assembly, all of test, and then put the rocket onto the rail, the launch rail, lifted vertical, so that the avionics team could verify the functionality of the flight computer in a vertical state, and we could verify the fit of the rocket on the launch rail, and then take it back down and de-integrate it so that the final shift could do the flight assembly, final assembly, with active explosives and yeah.
Some blankets, we're gonna put some blankets on the rocket. These people right here are gonna finish up tightening down the stop on the bottom of the rail, and that's it.
Currently I am trying to debug some stuff. We're trying to store the IMU data onto the flash memory so that we can recover it after the flight.
We have critical assembly sequence and then arming and launch. Put the rail vertical. Yeah, put the rail vertical, and then we're gonna have to take it back down, de-integrate everything.
Yeah.
Anything going through?
I was picking up some stuff.
I would say keep going with your tests and let's get this thing down as soon as we can.
We are integrating the propulsion hardware, which is over there somewhere, and integrating staging and mating the stages. So we arrive at FAR at 8 p.m. and we're leaving at about 2 or 3 in the morning. And then I get to sleep for an hour or 2 and then show up here and actually launch the thing. No, I was about to go.
Somebody was joking about not looking at direction.
Yeah, so we were testing the igniter formulation. It was a formulation that we'd come up with at school. It was a good formulation that we thought was going to work pretty well. Unfortunately, when we got to the desert and we started testing it out, it wasn't working the way we thought it was. We're not really sure why it wasn't working that way, but it meant that we had to change our formulation because we couldn't fly that on launch day.
So, but what are the backup igniters?
Like that version of igniter.
They're too big.
They're too big and the tape gets in the way. So yeah, so right now it's a 5-to-1 ratio. Which we're doing right now.
Oh, okay, of the spicy propellant and the BPM.
Yeah. So we're gonna move down. We're gonna take it down to
1-2-10. Yeah.
It was just popping, like the E-match was just popping, but the igniter is supposed to burn, like the propellant's supposed to burn for like a longer time.
One of the problems with igniters is that when you're first, our igniters they're like a twofold system. We have a larger grain that actually ignites the motor, and we have a small amount of dust or propellant powder that ignites that larger grain. And we were having trouble getting that dust to light our igniter correctly. The trick is getting a good ratio of GT gold, which is what we want to kind of burn slowly and really ignite the rest of the rocket motor, to BPN, which is going to help us ignite at altitude. We were spending kind of that night changing the ratio, making sure the ratio wasn't too explosive.
Launch morning in general went pretty well, went pretty smoothly. We always get out there really early. I think we were on site, the morning team was on site around 2 a.m. to do final integration, which is like final avionics checkouts, final assembly, loading our energetics into the rocket, loading propellant into the rocket, arming. Arming happens a little bit later, but all the final steps necessary for like checking out the rocket for flight. So we get there pretty early, we complete final assembly, we complete final integration, we make sure everything looks good. We put the igniters in, and then we go and we roll out to the launch pad to arm the rocket and launch.
4:45 in the morning right now. We're pretty early. So we have a problem?
So we had some issues with the igniters where our mixture that had worked in Atlanta was not igniting when we tested them in the desert. And so we did a little bit of last minute kind of reformulation of our igniter propellant formula. And we got a new mix that seems to be working really well, reliably. And we're going to integrate that. And so we've got that for a new igniter, and we're also flying one of our heritage igniters that has worked for us in the past. To kind of de-risk the flight and make sure that we have two separate, dissimilar redundancy.
I felt confident because I knew we had a good vehicle, and we'd done everything we could to get it ready, and I felt excited because it's always exciting to see a year's worth of work with some of your best friends pay off.
Okay, everyone, 2 hours on the dot. Does everyone understand? All right, let's go.
The puck and the heritage igniter. You physically cannot get the wiring in both igniters through the throat. Yeah. So we'll do the puck first.
Okay.
And then we'll do paper stick with the heritage igniter on it.
Okay.
Hey, does anyone have a notebook? Okay, Alfonso, we need paper and tape then.
You know what? You're gonna be stuffing the notes for next year's avionics system into the rocket.
It was definitely very stressful, trying to fit an igniter in a live motor. Everyone's kind of looking at you. Joey, the president's looking at you. It was very stressful. That was probably the most stressful time, I'd say.
Okay, everyone. 3, 2, 1, up.
64.
Once we get to the rail, we start turning on the electronics. We always try and turn on the electronics as late as possible to conserve battery life. We did not have continuity on our staging system, which means that there was no electrical signal able to be transmitted to the charge that would activate our staging system.
We didn't think that we would be able to fix it without pushing the schedule too far.
What's next? This is your call.
Is it worth trying to take the rocket down to try and mitigate that issue and put the rocket back up in better shape? Or is it better to just launch the rocket as is?
No matter what happens, if we're in a safe to fly configuration after we pull the shunt switches, then we need to fly. roadside, we read similar to you. We think that the critical step is going to be checking sustainer, match continuity. If we have that, then it would be a go for launch.
Shunt switch release.
15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Obviously, things didn't go on as planned. We had our nose cone charge deploy, like as we were leaving the rail or as we were on the rail, which essentially deployed parachutes like under boost and lost our nose cone. So you can actually see in the video the nose cone like fly off and land to the side. And then the rocket continues to fly up at around 4,000 or 5,000 feet. We see the sustainer light and we successfully hot stage, which that was good. That was sort of as intended. Our staging event happened a little bit early, which I'll talk about in a second. And then the two stages continued to fly under power for a few seconds, and at which point they eventually came back to ground. Everything came down ballistic because obviously the sustainer parachutes were damaged and removed from the vehicle when the nose cone deployed, and then the booster recovery system was damaged during hot staging. All of these failures can be tied back to essentially a single like software issue within the commercial off-the-shelf flight computer. That software issue, that software like error essentially, made it so that charges were deployed prematurely, and so all of the failures in the rocket can be tied back to that software issue. So all in all, like from an operations perspective and from like a vehicle construction and integration perspective, the launch was like generally pretty successful. The launch obviously just had a single point of failure, which to a certain extent there's nothing you can do, and that's just something you need to mitigate and take what you can from this launch and apply that to the next one.
Thanks for coming out. You guys all made this possible. You guys all made the rocket possible. Phenomenal job, regardless of what happened today. We flew a rocket, you guys.
Thank you for joining us on this entire trip. Loved having you here, but it's time to go home.